it vanished. What in the world was that? A fairy dragon, didn't you read? That was one heck of a monster, and I thought survival training was rough. Well, whatever. Glad we pulled that one out. You look like you barely broke a sweat. As rambunctious as ever. That was pretty impressive. I owe you one, Randy. But how did you know where we were? How did you get in here? They finally let me off the leash after I wrapped up training, so I went straight back to the SSS building. And then I heard you guys were on your way to mines. By the time I finally caught up, you were already neck deep in it down here. Yeah, talk about a lucky break. What about the cave-in at the entrance? Did you just punch your way through? Because that sounds like something you would do. The mine's miners punched through a little while ago. Ah, I see. Second they did, I made my way in and came running after you. The big guy here showing up as backup was a coincidence. Glad he did, though. Dog. Good boy, Zeit. Always full of surprises, isn't he? Thank you, Zeit. Remind me to pick up some meat for him later. Hey, you guys okay? I'm alive. Gantz and the miners. Yo, appreciate the hand earlier. Thank the goddess you're all in one piece. Oh, I'd say you all deserve most of the credit. And thank you all for helping out so quickly. No need, we were the ones who asked you to do this job. Seriously though, I can hardly believe what's going on in here. Aren't these the tunnels that our great-grandfathers mined? I never heard anything about them being like this. More importantly, why did the entrance suddenly cave in like that? It had a little bit of help. I think we should go back to town for now. We can explain things fully once we're there. I agree. Let's report all of our findings to Mayor Bixen. After returning to mines, Lloyd and the others explained what had happened to Mayor Bixen and the miners. In the end, there was no conclusive evidence pointing to who could have destroyed the gate or laid the trap at the entrance. The surrounding area was searched once again after confirming the absence of any suspicious individuals. The Guardian Force was contacted and additional patrols were requested. Meanwhile, the SSS made their way back to Crossbell City. My car randomly appeared. Did Randy drive? Does Randy know how to drive? Zeit brought the car, 100%. Man, oh man. I was already thinking it the whole drive here, but dang, this car is sweet. I'm gonna be a total lady killer cruising around in this thing, don't you think? No comments. Only amateurs need to rely on flashy wheels to get where they want to go, if you catch my drift. Oh my gosh. Who are you calling an amateur, newbie? I'd say he's got your number there. Sorry to tell you, Randy, but Wazy's got you beat in that department, enough to make a job out of it. Yeah, people pay him. Do people pay you for your services? I don't know. Come on, Noelle. How are you gonna do a fellow CGF alum dirty like this? Sorry. Oh, by the way, Randy, the chief gave you a spare key, right? When did you learn how to drive an orbital car? Ah, I see, he did drive it. During my training, or well, between sessions, technically. You all should give it a try too. Never know when it'll come in handy. Yeah, I can agree with that. Where is Zeit? Oh my gosh, where is Zeit? Did we abandon our dog? Or is he awkwardly riding on the roof of the car again? Though given the choice, I much prefer the view from the passenger seat. Well, he's definitely not on the roof. We never did find out who was responsible. The fact that we can't pin down a motive only makes it all the more unsettling. Where could they have gotten their hands on those explosives? Even the CGF doesn't use ones like that, not regularly anyway. Are you sure it couldn't have just been a blast charge that was lying around the old mine? And what, lit itself? Granted, I wouldn't call myself a demolitions expert, but still. No, it wasn't. Oh? Do you know something we don't? Based on the smell of the residue near the entrance, I'd say that was a newer model of explosive, no older than 1 or 2 years. And a high-performance one at that. You don't say. You must be pretty well versed in them to glean all that with just your nose. Well, it's not like gunpowder weapons are completely obsolete. They've fallen out with regular armies, but even now some people prefer them. Especially Jaegers. I see. Jaegers. Then you're saying, hey, I'm just talking in hypotheticals here. For the record, Erebonia is still the largest user of gunpowder weapons. They even have a large stockpile of old Reinford models. Really? I figured you'd know a lot more about these things than us. But Erebonia, huh? That makes matters even more complicated. Yeah, especially after yesterday. What? Something happened? Yes, actually. We met someone who I would bet money is your father. Ellie explained the details of their encounter with Imperial Secretary Lecter Arundel, which would make that perverted girl your sister. Because we've learned that hair color does denote family in this game. So that playboy was an Imperial spy all along, huh? I always knew he was hiding something. Don't judge Lecter, he's great. He's not just a spy, he's a captain of their intelligence division. He might simply be here to scope out the city ahead of the trade conference, but there's also the matter of that red-headed girl who was with him. That girl, poor Ellie. Can you feel the warmth of her hands even now? Wacy, you are a terrible person. Oh, what's this about? I missed something good? Yeah, you missed your teammate being molested. Doesn't that sound like a good time to you? Well, Noelle explained what happened with the red-headed girl that was with Lecter. Huh. Can we move on, please? Honestly, I can sympathize with how Risha is treated by Elia now. I guess there are some similarities. But all jokes aside, things may be coming to a head soon. Whoever that girl was, she was more than just your average civilian. And she wasn't the only one. There's also that man we met yesterday, the one heading down the West Crossbell Highway from the Empire. Come to think of it, he had red hair too. Yeah, now that you mention it. It wasn't red like Lecter's either. Rather, it was more like that girl's. In fact, they might have been the exact same shade. We all turned to look at Randy. Wait, could it be? So, what you're trying to say is they both had the same hair color as me. Does that mean anything to you? Well, dang. So they're really here. Now I'm really concerned where our dog is, though. Hey, Randy. What now? Yes, this is Special Support Section. Lloyd Bannings speaking. Bannings, it's me. Is this Dudley? Oh, Dudley it is. I heard you were away on business. Did you get back? Yes, this afternoon. Emma filled me in. She said you were a big help yesterday. It was nothing, just doing our duty. More importantly, has something happened? Yes, I figured you all should know. The old Rivace compound was sold today. It officially has a new owner. The name on the deed is Crimson and Company. Crimson and Company. Wait, it's not Heiyu? Seems they snatched the contract from right under their noses. Cow is not going to be happy. Presumably someone from the Empire pulled some strings from behind the scenes. The Empire, huh? So what kind of company is it? They run a high-class club in the Imperial capital named, is that a V? Neve Blanc? Yeah, that would make sense. White snow. Instead of that being a U. Neve Blanc. They also opened a branch location in Crossbell City about a year ago. Apparently they're aiming to launch a full-scale expansion into the States. But it must be a front, right? Well, is Orlando there? Randy? Yeah, we just met up with him. You should hear the details about this Crimson and Company from him. I'll contact you again tonight. Wait. Dudley just hang up on us. How rude. What's wrong? That sounded like quite the heated conversation. I get the picture. They got their hands on the old Rivace building, right? Well, mind taking us to the entertainment district once we're back in the city? Just park her right by the entrance to the back alley. I mean, I guess I can, but, Randy, just what is this Crimson and Company? Well, it's an Erebonian company that manages one of Heimdallr's most poppin' clubs, Neve Blanc. But in reality, it's a front used to fund the Jaeger Corps known as the Red Constellation. I want the shiny thing that was on the ground, though. Oh, it's these two. We're done here. Shall we head back? Though on second thought, perhaps I'd best stop by that old mine gallery first. Be my guest. Just remember to keep yourself out of danger. Oh, was that? Weird. In the meantime, the fool is needed elsewhere. I trust you'll do your worst. That reminds me, our assignments for this plan have been decided. How is this said? The 7th Angis? Whatever. And I will be in charge of things on this end. Really now, whipping out the big guns, are we? I suppose it makes sense. There are going to be some tricky pieces on the board. Maybe it's for the best. My thoughts exactly. And before I forget, I think I'll let you handle the operational reporting on the Astral Code. I'm quite excited to see how it fares in a low-level network environment. Yes, yes. I'll take care of that when I have some free time to spare. And now then, in the name of the Grand Master. In the name of the Grand Master. Okay, bye. I may not have an audience, but there's never a bad time to make a declaration. I, Enforcer number 0, Campanella the Fool. As the Grand Master's representative, hereby declare the Phantasmal Blaze plan now in motion. What a fun name. Phantasmal Blaze. Oh, there he goes. Randy. Let's follow him. But where is our dog? The burst gauge has been deactivated. The burst gauge will be temporarily disabled after the climax of each chapter. However, it will become available again when the story approaches another climactic point. Once that happens, the burst gauge will reappear in the top right corner of the screen. Be sure to watch out for it. I guess that's one way to know when I'm nearing the end of a chapter. Can I go in here instead? Oh, I can. Why the heck am I Noelle? I want to be Noelle. She's sleepy sleep. It's really starting to come down. Maybe I should wake up Sandra and send her home. And there's no music now. Just a little weird. You have anything for me, Imelda? I spotted a gaggle of shady characters heading into the old Ravaje compound today. And here I thought that Heiyu was going to get their grubby mitts on it. Things are really starting to heat up. Anything else? And here I thought that Heiyu was going to get their grubby mitts on it, on that old Ravaje compound. Things are really starting to heat up. Nope, okay. Lecter! Uncle. Shirley. Oh, that's not your dad. Okay. So I guess I was both right and wrong at the same time. They are his family, just not his dad. A long time no see, Dolphy. You haven't changed a bit these past 2 years. It's them, the ones from yesterday. So the pieces are starting to fall into place. I had a feeling you were related to them. The hair color was a dead giveaway and all, but still, wasn't expecting a family reunion today. What are you doing here, Lecter? Did you have something to do with the acquisition? Well, I have been known to pull a few strings here and there. But man, oh man, it's a good thing we beat Heiyu and their four-eyed orchid dragon to the punch. You said it. I had to back off in the Eastern Quarter, but this time I'll get to have all the fun I want. The Eastern Quarter? She means the war they waged with Heiyu last year in Calvard. So tell me, Uncle, why are you here in Crossbell? What the heck are you planning? We're here on business, obviously. More importantly, I've got something you might like to know, Randolph. My brother's gone 6-star gender. Brady's dad is dead? Happened just last year. He and Zephyr's boss ended up taking each other to their graves. A battle to the death between the war god and his bitter rival, the Jaeger King. You should have seen it. It was awesome. That's so. Stupid old man. At least he died doing what he loved. But he had a real satisfied look on his smug face, didn't he? Yep. He looked like he was having the time of his life and death. The lucky dog. I wish I could find me a rival like that. If nothing else, he went down with no regrets. Aside from having a worthless deserter of a son. Your vacation days are up, Randolph. Keep your schedule open. We'll be in touch. Later, Dolphy. Catch you on the flip side. Randy, was that... Are they who I think they are? Yep. Sigmund Orlando, vice leader of the Red Constellation, and his daughter, Shirley Orlando, one of their commanding officers. My uncle and cousin, the strongest and fiercest of the ogres.